Aloha, everybody, and welcome to Roll With Us Radio. It's Thursday, January 31st, 2019. And yes, this is Lelo with Humble Ambitions, and tonight is a special night. It is my love bug's birthday. It's his 10th birthday. To God be the glory, honor, and praise. And I want to say thank you and happy birthday to my love bug. Mommy loves you. He's gone to bed. It's been a crazy day. The title of my broadcast is Love and Blessed and Humbled. I am going to start this broadcast with just a really quick story. I call him Bug because he's so affectionate. I was never affectionate. I was always I was old school. I was raised old school. That emotions was for the weak. I was always my grandfather's tomboy, so emotions was never something that you would see somebody like me show or was given. So when I had my first son, he was actually I was 16, and I was going into my senior year of high school, and my best friend, which was my cousin, she had gotten pregnant, and we were supposed to graduate at 17. She got pregnant. 17 came. I graduated. I left. Was going to go to college. I got a call. She gave birth. She left the baby with my mom. Flew back home. Raised the baby. Got 2 jobs. Ended up being a stay-at-home mom at 17. I never knew what it was to be a teenager. I was always in that life of servanthood. I never knew what it was to be selfish. I never knew how it felt to do me. So with my oldest boy, I always had help. And so, at the age of 17, teenage mom, everybody looked at me different. I didn't know what it was. I just did it because my mom was already a single mom. My dad passed away when I was young. I didn't want my mom to do that all over again. So, came home, gave up my scholarship, got 2 jobs, raised this kid. He's right now like 22. Yeah, 22. And then I have love bug, right? And love bug's 10 now. So, and then between them two, after love bug, like not even before, after love bug, there was Paxton. Mines. Paxton was my baby. I named him Paxton. Pax was for hope. The ton was for town. So Paxton was supposed to be named Hope Town. Because they say when you name a kid, It was supposed to be a name that you bestow upon him for the hopes that you have upon this kid. When I got pregnant, the doctor said I could never bear a kid. I was supposed to be barren. So when I was pregnant and I found out I was pregnant, it was just a miracle that I was. I carried him all the way to 8 months. From the time they found out I was pregnant, they kept asking me to actually terminate my pregnancy. My son fought all the way to 8 months. Even though they said he was going to be a Down syndrome baby, I was blessed to even carry him. The fact that he even lasted 8 months was a blessing. So, when he stopped breathing at 8 months, there was this calming on me, like real calming. I didn't feel heartbroken. As some people say that they would feel heartbroken, I didn't feel heartbroken. I felt this soothing comfort. There was tears in my eyes. My heart felt sad. But my spirit felt comforted. I don't know if that made any sense to anybody that's listening at this moment, but there is a scripture in the Bible and it says something like, when you have this faith in God, that God lifts you up so high, like wings of an eagle. Like, I felt that comfort so many times. You can never imagine. But you feel so much peace. And that's when I know that I abide in him. Because he's seen me through so many stuff. Yo. But in that moment, and still today, and I think I gotta get back to that I felt this peace. That I was blessed to carry him at that moment. And even though I was scared shitless, because that was the first time and the first I've ever carried, everything was the first for me. Carrying a baby, having somebody look at my damn vagina every freaking 2 weeks. Like, I was so uncomfortable. Like, everything was new. Being away from family because I was living in Vegas. Everything was scary. And then to lose him. But I felt this calming. And on top of that, I have never felt blessed in my life. And then I had to push him out. When I did, I never felt so much confusion. 2 days, and the doctors didn't, nothing. And I finally left. Anyways, I left, I came back. I actually spent a month not knowing who the hell I was. I contracted pneumococcal meningitis. I came out of the hospital. I moved back to Hawaii. Came out of the hospital, laying in the bed. I hear somebody calling my boyfriend's name, and I thought I was on drugs. And I asked him. I was like, "You know somebody next door?" And this is me, right out of the hospital, fresh off the plane, in my mama's house in Hawaii. I haven't been home for like a couple years. I'm like, "You know somebody next door?" He's like, "Oh, no, nobody next door." I said, am I high on drugs? Because I hear somebody calling your name. He's like, "No." So he goes to work, and this was happening for like a week. Somebody's calling his name again. So I'm like, is it me or my hormones? Somebody's calling him again, right? So, again, somebody's calling your name. So I lose it. Like, I go apeshit. Like, somebody's really calling your name. So he gets up, he runs to the window, he peeps out the window, he looks at me, and he starts crying. I'm like, why are you crying? He's like, that's my son. I'm like, what? That's my son. I look at him, I'm like, what do you mean that's your son? He's like, that's my son. My heart dropped. I never knew he had a son. I never knew my other half had a son. I heard he had 2 girls, but I never knew he had a son. The first thing I told him is, go get him. Go get him. My heart drops. So my heart literally dropped. Go get him. He's like, I don't want the drama. So I told my older boy, go get him. Do you know that boy? He's like, Mom, that's the kid. That's the kid. A couple months before I came back home, my son called me and he says, Mom, there's this new neighbor that moved in, and there's a little boy that always comes to the gate. Every time we get up, there's this little boy. He's always up, and he always comes to the gate, and he always yells, can I come in? Can I come in? And I always tell my son, when that kid comes to the gate, you better bring him in. You don't know if that kid's hungry, or if that kid, if somebody's going to look for that kid. You just bring the kid in and you feed him. Just in case somebody comes looking for the kid, you say, oh, okay, your kid's here. At least he's safe. Not knowing that same kid is my other half's son. Who is my love bug. Who is my son's big brother. Who is my older son's little brother. Do you see why? I say I'm humbled. Because there is no way that can happen to somebody like me. Like, no freaking way. And that happened, yo. With all the heartache I went through in that 1 year, that happened. At the same time I was going through that, my bug, his mom, who was on drugs, moved in with her friend who was a drug dealer next to my mom's house, left him next door, and he was raising himself while I lost my son. I sat on that bed and I couldn't believe. And I didn't realize what God was preparing me for until the days after. Like, I thought I let go of the hurt that I thought I didn't feel.